Welcome everybody back to A&M in the AM, episode, I want to say 59 or 60. Kind of just went into
Yeah,
this. As you see,
I
Mark,
can't even. This is like oh messed up. It's
Moore's
okay.
just it's 59. All right, so it's Moore's continuing his weekend. Just chilling in the pool over there. To start off, how was your weekend? How
I
was it?
mean, it was just like a normal weekend without working. To be honest with you, with a few extra fireworks, but
Okay, okay.
that's about it. I know
I had a
yours
fun.
was a completely different story, but
No, I just chill weekend, just
mm,
chill weekend. Just 4th of July, just chilled out, and your
mm.
Saturday night was eventful, from what I heard.
Was it? Oh yeah, so was yours though.
Yeah. So I see you're drinking a Rona over there. If you haven't picked up, he's in the pool right now. Um, but he wanted to be in the pool while we did this, and so I just let him, and here we are. So to start off, I want to go with NBA. We got the NBA finals as we're recording this tonight. Game 1, Phoenix versus Milwaukee.
Hmm.
What are your takes on it? I mean, Giannis got upgraded to
I was gonna say
questionable
Woj
now again.
just said moments ago that he was warming up and he's gonna see how he feels after warm ups. So I kind of assumed that there was going to be like that. There was going to be some kind of way that he could maybe play. If he does,
Well,
then he does.
I
But
also think it's smart that they're not saying yes or no because it's keeping Phoenix
yeah,
on
they don't
edge,
want to for
obviously.
planning.
Yeah, they it's keeping Phoenix on edge, obviously.
Mm-hmm. That
So
I assumed it was going to be like that the entire time.
so obviously this is gonna go up after the game. So give me your just give me your prediction for game 1.
It's going to be a lot closer if Giannis plays, unless he doesn't play a lot. Maybe it's just a little decoy thing to get a little spurts or something.
Yeah.
But I still like the Suns' chances at home. You need to take that 1-0 lead on them. It'd be huge to do so.
It would be. It would be. I think this is like you said. I think it's going to be just depending on if Giannis plays, and it's really this. I'm just going to go whole series wise. This whole series is going to come down to how can DeAndre Ayton play, because
Yeah, and we've seen how he's been the entire time.
but
I think it could come down to battle the benches, and from what I've seen, the Suns probably have a little bit of a better bench outside of Saric. He kind
um
of levels the playing field though. So,
because like okay, and I know you're not going to like this statement, but
oh gosh,
really, I mean, Drew Holiday, he doesn't compare to Chris Paul, but he's a good
yeah,
defensive guard. He's a good defensive
mhm,
guard that can, match up against Paul. Um,
mhm,
Devin Booker, obviously him and Middleton don't totally match up, but they're both very good offensively that they could match each other, you
yeah. I
know?
was gonna say, like they said on Locked On Suns, actually, the name dropped them. Uh, they they said that even if Book isn't like scoring a lot, he's at least tiring Middleton out if Middleton has to play the whole time without Giannis.
Yeah.
So he's at least tiring him out, chasing him around the floor to kind of affect him on offense a little bit, to where Middleton can't do as much because he'll be tired. And wouldn't be surprised if they threw PJ onto him
Yeah.
every now and then to ease the load a little bit. But
And that's where I was gonna really go next is who would you say the small forward is for the Suns? It changes, or is it McCall or is it
yeah, it's
Crowder?
Mikal.
McCall. So I would say it's probably gonna be McCall and PJ on each other, at least for this first game. I don't know how they ran
I
their.
would think so, but yeah, because with Drew and CP3, so yeah, I would say that. But I'd also wouldn't be surprised if PJ Tucker's on Crowder, just the two vets going at it, the two scrappy guys that'll push you around going at each other and
The
trying to take
one
each other out of the game.
I wanted to look at one thing. So for game 6 here, what was there? Okay, so Bobby Portis played. Okay, so
Oh yeah.
then the only disadvantage I give, let's say, either or really, is the Bucks have a bigger front court. They have Giannis and Brook, or they have Portis and Lopez, which are two bigger guys than, let's say, Mikal or Jay Crowder. Obviously, Ayton matches up well against one or the other, but I think that's going to be the one weakness the Suns have is going to be
Ayton guards Giannis if Giannis is playing. We can probably just like be 100% sure about that. Unless Crowder gets some. I mean, Bridges has the like the versatility and like the wingspan, you could say, to keep up with him. But yeah, I'd say Ayton has him most of the time, and then they just figure it out the rest of the way. Crowder goes on somebody that isn't going to score very often. That's why I would think him and PJ just match up, because PJ is not going to get the ball very much offensively. So
yeah. I mean, but if Brook Lopez comes out and plays how he did last series, like I'm just trying to play. I'm not trying to like pick a side here. I'm just
Brook Lopez takes away the pick and roll that the Suns like to do, because he could play up.
Yeah, he can. That's the difficulty there, is he can play up,
so
and
he doesn't have to worry about switching. He can come up and guard Chris Paul for a little bit until Holiday or whatever switches back.
yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but Ayton does struggle with guarding kind of the more athletic big, like an Anthony Davis, and like out on the 3-point line, he struggles. Let's say, right?
Well, yeah, a lot of centers are harder out there, but yeah, he's more gonna tough you up on the inside instead of chasing you around and the out on the perimeter. And
But let's say,
really, that just depends on if Brook Lopez is doing that or not.
yeah, no, but I was gonna say, let's say Giannis, let's say he misses game 1, so game 2, Giannis comes back and they say Ayton on Giannis. Is Ayton going to be able to guard him? Up on the 3-point line, Giannis going to the hoop. That's where I look, and that's where I see the disadvantage for the Suns there.
I'm giving Giannis the Ben Simmons treatment. He can have 10 feet in front of him. I'm inviting him to shoot a 3. He's going to make them every now and then, but I'm inviting him to shoot the 3 instead of beating you inside.
Hold on. I'm happy you brought that up, because I did want to see that. I did want to see, because did they play? Give me a hot second here. I just want to look at Giannis's season 3-point percentage here.
Of course,
because I think he did shoot pretty decently. He shot this year 30%. 30%.
Really,
so not amazing, but decent.
If he's gonna have leg issues, he's gonna be outside more, because I would assume that's gonna affect his. I mean, obviously his quickness and everything, so his jumping. So I would assume he's going to shoot a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that kind of plays into your favor for the Suns. Really, you can take a few possessions off, so to speak, and put Crowder on him a little bit to give Ayton the rest. But then also, that's where I like having Cam Johnson back, because Cam Johnson's 6'10" also. He can at least chase Giannis around too. Obviously Giannis can outmuscle him, but
100%. But yeah, I get what you're saying. It gives them another,
because otherwise it's going to be Saric, and everybody just babies Saric, even if you're a 4-year-old. So
yeah, I understand what you're saying there, but it's definitely, and I think you can agree with me on it. It's a pretty evenly matched matchups, as long as
they match
healthy.
Up well, both sides.
And I mean, and again, there might be another bold statement. And even with Giannis out, I feel like it's kind of even too, because they do have that Portis and Lopez front court, which is kind of a disadvantage to the Suns, because they don't have another big guy like that can actually give good minutes on. I mean, like Cam Johnson, he's tall, but he's not like a in the paint type guy. He's more of like he can defend you on the 3-point line, and he can make a play on the inside, but it's not his everyday type of move. Where like
and that's why I would assume Crowder would play more in Bridges, but then we all know Crowder is going to get into foul trouble because PJ is going to get into his head. So,
and I mean, the one guy, but actually, I'll give it the 2 guys here that I think are most pivotal parts of each team. They're not in the starting lineup for the Suns. It's if they actually play Torrey Craig. I think that will be I was
gonna say, we can't forget Torrey Craig either.
I think that will be an interesting factor if they actually play him, because they didn't play him until
he played without Cam Johnson. I would think, because Monty didn't really. I don't know if he thought about it or not. He didn't really get to see that Cam Johnson as a small ball center because Cam got hurt. The game, it looked like he was going to do that. So then Torrey Craig played more, but I would think that he can at least try it out a little bit more because who's the backup? It's Brooke Lopez?
The backup for what?
The backup center for the Bucks, is it Brooke Lopez?
No, he's the starting center.
Robin Lopez.
No, it is
Still.
the backup center is actually Bobby Portis.
Oh,
So
okay, well,
he's 6'10".
I don't think Cam gives up much against Bobby Portis.
I mean, but
I think Bobby Portis exposes Saric. But
yeah, Bobby Portis. The thing about Bobby Portis is he's a true big guy. He's a true center / power forward, unlike like Cam Johnson. You know,
he'd be a little undersized though. He'd be like 6'8" or something. He'd just be stronger. He's played longer in the league and stuff. But I think Cam's got the quickness and size to keep up with him.
No, I mean Bobby Portis is 6'10", 250.
Oh, I thought he was a little bit smaller than that.
Yeah.
But
but
still, I think really, I know he did pretty good against the Hawks, but really, how often are you going to see Bobby Portis show up?
Yeah, that's the other thing you gotta think of. It's like how it's consistency on him, you know. But then the next guy for the Bucks is gonna be Jeff Teague off the bench. Haven't seen much from him on the team at all.
He was buried on that team for a while.
He's buried there, but he's a veteran. And
yeah,
he hasn't been in this situation before. I don't think anybody but
Crowder's the only player on both teams that have been in the finals.
Crowder, yeah, okay, that's what I was gonna say. Crowder's the only guy on either team, so that's really showing a lot of, you know, these are guys. This is a new situation,
and that's why you would look for him to veteran leadership, and then it's going to be PJ's going to cancel him out. Did you see that thing that said that PJ's taken out all his former Rockets teammates?
Yep. Every single starter, and then Chris Paul's the last one now.
Yeah, now he just Chris Paul. Like, my gosh, if that somehow happens,
imagine that storyline.
PJ for Hall of Fame, I guess.
And then lastly, before we move on here, Torrey Craig can win a ring either way, so he's basically already won. I don't see it's a situation where the team gets to pick if he gets a ring. And it's like, I mean, if he sells the Suns, then, you know, Bucks might be like, hey, thank you.
But then you actually earn it if you win it. So
yeah, that's the other thing. So
it's better than selling.
But that's another. I think last time that situation happened, it was Anderson Varejao with the Cavs when they won it.
Cavs and Warriors.
Yeah. But the interesting fact about this he was traded to the Suns. It's not like he was dropped, and he was
yeah.
Bucks straight up said, no, we don't need you anymore. we're gonna dish you off to the Suns for some cash.
They did some crazy things at the deadline to make it to the finals. Is just something else.
But you know, we can't say much. Series hasn't even started yet. So but before we end it off there, more series or finals prediction.
I mean, you've already known it for the past while.
Well, no, I want your how many games. I want how many.
How many games?
Yep, I want how many games before anything starts. I want how many games.
I'm thinking.
You can say like 4 or 5 or like 6 and 7. You can be like one. You can be in between two. You know.
I think that they're gonna raise my blood pressure and go 6.
Yeah,
5 or 6, anything but 7.
I'm sitting in between 6 and 7. I think they should sit Giannis for the first game, see how they can play without him, and then bring him back. And again, I'm not rooting for the Bucks, but I'm just game planning wise. Bring him back and then see again how you can win maybe with him and versus without him. You know, kind of see both sides of the spectrum. You obviously won.
I mean, you could say that they kind of already saw that with the Hawks, though.
But yeah, I'm saying
I'd much rather them not have him game 1, so that way the Suns can have a better chance of winning it.
No, but I think 6 or 7 games. I think it's going to be one of the better finals we've had in a while. Just for the sheer fact, no super team, no
super team. Nobody hates any of the players. And
I would say, like, I was watching, and I'm gonna hate it because I forget his name, but that he's a Detroit Pistons guy on Twitter. I want to say his name's Noah. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I was watching his YouTube, and he was like, he was like, this was perfect for the NBA. It's two not small market teams, but like medium market teams make the finals. No super team. You maybe have two top 10 players, but I mean, Giannis is the only sure top 10, and then you got fringe ones in Chris Paul and then Booker. But he was like, you really got only a couple top 20 players on these teams.
And it's kind of like the guys that have been loyal to the teams and Booker and Giannis, um, showing the ability to build through the draft in the Suns, and then the Bucks other side is just getting the role players in free agency. So it's kind of like different takes on how they built their teams.
Yeah, and it's like neither team has like the second star on the Bucks, Chris Middleton. And then like obviously you got two stars there in Phoenix, but then like the third guy, Ayton, Bridges, two guys that are maybe not like they're top 50 players, maybe pushing, fighting it out for top 50 there, but like you don't got a sure like fire like next superstar there,
I got a discussion for a different day that I just thought of on the spot, but Ayton might be the best number one pick we've seen in 5 years.
We can save that for another day because I would actually have to look at the number one picks, but I mean maybe not after this year.
If you look at that, you'll probably agree with me.
Maybe not after this.
If you look at the past number ones.
And again,
because you have to remember that Ayton was the same draft as Luka and Trae. Ayton was the one that went number one, and so Luka and Trae are the only younger players that are probably better than him.
We can save that for another video because there's a lot of fact. We can save that. Yeah, we can talk about that next week when everything's dead because it will just be middle of the finals and then All-Star week. So we can talk about that next week. But
just saying.
But I'm talking about that All-Star game for MLB next week. Tigers, their only representative, Gregory Soto, which we kind of knew it was going to be him or Cisnero, really, or Mize.
No, I was going to say, I thought it would be Mize or him. I mean, I was sold on the only pitcher being Mize until Chris had kind of mentioned it the night before. He's like, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Soto made it.
I mean, I knew it was going to be between those three guys. I think I mentioned that to you a couple days beforehand even. And, I mean, it was a long shot that Scope made it because he wasn't even voted in as...
Yeah, there was too many position players. I think because Correa and Altuve both, and then I think... No, DJ LeMahieu didn't make it, I don't think. Maybe he did.
I'm going to pull it up real fast.
And there was like Bo and somebody else. Yeah. There was like 3 or 4 middle infielders. Then at first base you had Vlad, and I'm assuming Matt Olson or Jose Abreu or something. Matt Olson I honestly don't even remember it. So I knew it was going to be hard that way.
Right here, the reserves
middle infield was stacked.
The reserves have Jose Altuve, Bo Bichette, Carlos Correa, Matt Olson, Jared Walsh. And then Jose Ramirez at third. So, yeah, the infield was kind of stacked.
It was going to be hard to make it. Yeah, he should have probably made it still, but it's just going to be who replaces Trout is going to be kind of a thing to see.
But I mean, I don't even know where I was just trying to go there. I was looking at the All-Star roster but Tigers have been on probably one of the best tears or best runs in MLB right now. We're 30 and 22, and
I wish I had you the numbers since May. Yeah, it was 30 and 22. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, 30. I'm on this. Okay. Who do you think?
Well, I would have been too if you would have informed me before that, but never mind. Keep going.
But 30 and 22 since May 8th. And before that we were 9 and 24. So yes, we've lost a close to amount of the same games, but we've won immense amount of more. So Tigers, I think they said we would be, we're second in the division since that May 8th date. So I don't even know what to say right now. Like, are we sellers? Are we buyers? We talked about this a couple videos ago.
I want to say it's like a top 8 record or something like that. It said in the league. But as the days go by, I still think don't trade Scope now.
Yeah,
I've been on that train for a while, and actually, I never wanted him to get traded. I wanted him to be on a multi-year deal anyway, and then they only signed him for 1 year. But I think I love that the group's starting to be made where everybody's saying give him a multi-year deal now.
And
To
I
but the
do.
thing is that they're meaning for second base. I'm meaning for first base. So
Yeah,
that's where we
and
kind of collide.
that's where, because and I always joke around with you about Willie, but he will be there for a couple years for the future at least. And then that shortstop position, that's still, it's, do we sign a guy, or are we going with someone in our own camp, in our own franchise?
That's the thing. Nobody in there is ready at all for that, and I still don't think they signed anybody. It's just getting that bad out here.
And then
I
it's,
like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Eric Sogard or if it's Marcus Semien. I'll probably be upset because he's the second baseman now. So
yeah.
I'd rather see Paredes there if it's Marcus Semien.
Yeah, and then you gotta think about, like, third base. We have Candelario, and then, but what's that situation there when Torkelson comes up? Is Torkelson gonna be at
He's kind of
third?
had one foot out the door for a while now, because he'll have such these streaks that it's like, yeah, you want him on your team because he's pretty good defensively and he'll go streaky, but at the same time, like I wouldn't be mad if he's not there. It just
So then,
opens up
like,
another
that's
spot.
a spot where, like, Paredes comes, and then maybe the Torkelson moved to first, and there's,
Yeah, and if they weren't doing good this year, and Candelario I would say for sure that he'd be getting traded at the deadline. But since they're doing good and he's the starting third baseman, I don't think they touch that. I think that the only possibility if they keep Scope, um, the only one would be Boyd. But even I don't know if anybody wants him because he's been hurt. So I
yeah,
don't know.
maybe a guy or two on the bullpen that has done something. Maybe a Cisnero, because he's a
But I
veteran.
think he stays too because if you're not trading Scope, it means you're going for it. So
Yeah.
I think they keep every piece intact and either get rid of Urena or Mize. I mean, not Mize, man. Geez, Boyd to keep Manning. Gosh,
Then, I mean, so then here's the second question. Here's the second part of that question. Do you go for anybody? Do you maybe
I think
take,
you see who you can get. I don't
yeah,
think there's as many guys you can get though because you're not going to give up anything. So
okay.
it's just whatever you can get for Boyd.
And any guys that you would like to see DFA'd within the next couple of weeks?
Urena and
Urena,
probably Mazzara.
Mazzara. So I think kind of
I,
consensus, everybody
I
there.
yeah, I never would have thought I'd want to say I'd say that I'd want Mazzara gone for Daz Cameron, but here we are.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say,
Daz also just got hurt, so
I was gonna say, I wanted to revisit that because we've talked about that a little bit. You've tweeted out since, but I think even on here on the channel, you were a
multiple
big,
times.
big, big Daz hater.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's
I
kind of,
mean, the man never did anything in his career until this year, and
he's
like I
making you eat
said,
your words a little bit.
but like I had said though, it was mostly because you just traded the best player in franchise history. Well, probably best pitcher. I don't know if you could say Miguel, but best pitcher in franchise history for him. So like, he wasn't going to be well received anyway.
And I mean, now what? Because wasn't Rogers a part of that trade also?
Yeah,
So
and
now
that's why
Rogers,
it's not as bad now, but
yeah,
still at the time when that stuff was happening, like they weren't giving Rogers a chance, and Daz couldn't hit a softball in the minor leagues. So
understandable. All right, so
I would say beach ball.
I'm gonna go through a couple questions here from World Series champs 2021. Uh,
Oh yeah,
um, your letter grade for the first half of the season for the team.
they exceeded my expectations, so I think I responded. I said a B.
I'm on Instagram, so I don't know if you responded on here. Uh,
Yeah,
so a B, you say?
yeah, B. I'd say B plus because they're exceeding expectations. I don't know what I would have had them at anyway, but
I was gonna say, I think
I
we,
mean, obviously, because it could be better and it could be a lot worse. So
yeah, you're right, you're right. I had about, I would say about B plus too. They're doing, better than we ever. I did have them at 90 wins, I think. So, they're
yeah, I was okay with 75 to 80, so that's why I'm thinking
they're
I
they're a
was no,
little
I didn't think 90 at all.
they're a little under my expectations, but I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. The player you most enjoyed watching this season, besides Willie, because I know you love watching. Besides Willie,
I mean, everybody's kind of got a default to Badu or Haas.
Okay.
Um, I would even throw Mize in there. Just even though we saw him last year, he just looks otherworldly. I mean, I guess you could say compared to how he looked at times last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I I don't know. Everybody's gonna say Badu. I gotta give Haas some love.
I'm actually gonna say Haas too. Either Haas, both the catchers actually. It's been a sigh
Hmm.
of relief, because catcher notoriously has been a rotating door, and it seems like there's two guys that, I mean, Haas is older. That's the one unfortunate side of it. And Jake Rogers, 26. So it's like, yeah, they still have some years under their belt that they hopefully can be the two centerpieces until Dingler's ready. And maybe one of them exits when Dingler comes up. And if he even works out, like you always say, you
Hmm.
can't be hoping every single prospect works out. So if Dingler works out, obviously one of them can move, or maybe Haas to the outfield at that point. Who knows? But with our 50 other outfielders,
Yeah, that's impossible.
but yeah, the two catchers definitely. Especially since I'm happy they DFA'd Ramos. I mean, other than that, he was struggling.
Well, yeah,
It
they had to.
gives opportunity for those two guys.
Hmm.
Your record prediction for the end of the season.
Yeah, so yeah, I did answer this, and I stole somebody else's because I didn't want to do the math. Um, I had him at like 87 and whatever that would be.
87. Okay. All right. Yeah, I would say about I would. They've been
Because
playing.
it's still going to take a lot of game. It's still going to take a lot of wins.
Yeah.
Whether the White Sox are good or not, the White Sox are still going to win the division handedly, probably. So,
Yeah.
even then, even with 87, it looks like this year not even going to get the wild card. So it's not even that bad to say that
Yeah.
because the wild card teams are going to have a lot of wins also.
I'm gonna say in the 80s. We've been playing like an 80-win team.
Mm-hmm.
We also have one of the easiest schedules in probably all of baseball coming in July right now. Um,
If they make 3 winning months in a row, goodness.
that's what I'm
Without
saying. And this one has chance to even be better than the past two. The past in June it was 13-12. The month before it was
small
really
victories.
it was really close again. But this month we have a chance to exceed both of those and have double-digit wins and single losses, I think.
I mean,
So
started it off good.
yeah, we already
I
started.
guess
Yeah, we
took
already
two out
started
of
off
three
good.
against the
So
White Sox and took the first one with the Rangers. So
yeah, so I think we got a good chance
I think they
there.
took 2 out of 3. Yeah, they took 2 out of 3 against the White Sox.
Yeah, we won that series. We've won 5 series in a row.
Hmm.
So I think.
Kevin,
Hold on, let me check my math there.
watch out for the big city kitties.
One, 2, 3 in a row, and then the Houston was a split. So,
Oh, okay.
so four in a row. Let's say. Let's just because we ended up winning the season series versus Houston. So we'll count that as a series win there. 3 series in a row or 4 series in a
Mm-hmm.
row. But Tigers looking good. Another 2 games versus Texas. Another one tonight. A 2 p.m. game tomorrow. That's actually kind of weird. And then
Yeah.
Minnesota before the All-Star break. So there's the Tigers talk there. Now, like we mentioned, it was 4th of July weekend, and this was my little surprise topic that I didn't tell you about more.
Oh, okay. I
Mr.
wondered.
Mr. Joey Chestnut
Mm.
obliterated his record yet again.
Mm-hmm.
76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I mean, you're a hot dog connoisseur yourself. You like to throw them down the gullet. How do you feel about that
Mm-hmm.
record?
I think it's great for everybody involved. I think it's great for America. I think it's great for Nathan's hot dogs. I think it's wonderful for Joey himself. I will say this though that I I I woke up planning to watch it and I had the wrong time. So then I went back to sleep and I just slept through it. So
That's
um
disappointing.
I was a little delayed to the party, but I did see some of the highlights of him just throwing him down. Had absolutely no competition out there. It was his to lose. So
And I mean, I was talking with somebody over the weekend about this. I feel like he knows he can eat more, but he does it on purpose so he can beat his record the next year.
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
I
sometimes it'll look real slow and tough for him, but
yeah.
because it is almost 80 of them. But
And he now has 14 championships or 14
he's got the
say the
most
most
in
in a
sports
American
history.
or the most in a single place sporting event. He has the most championships under his belt. 14, that's more than any other athlete in
I think
the
it was
world.
Wayne Gretz. No, it was I think it was Nadal that he passed or something like that.
I'm just scrolling through my.
I think it was tennis and hockey. Hockey that were
There
up
was
there.
two tennis players, and there was I don't have it here. There's two
I
tennis
want to say it
players.
was Nadal and Gretzky.
No, Bill Russell was up there too, and there was a couple different people there. But he 14. It could have been 15 or yeah 15 in a row, but
Mm-hmm.
somebody and I think it was 2015. It was that YouTuber that beat him
Yeah,
out,
Matt
or
Stoney.
yeah, Matt Stoney beat him out. So
I want to say I think I know we already passed the Bucks,
yep.
but I did see when we were passing it, I got a notification that said that Giannis has completed his warm ups and he's still game time decision. See how he feels.
I mean,
But
maybe
then
by the
I
time
know
of
you also just saw that we finally have our Mount Rushmores posted. I'm assuming that's what that
I
was.
I mentioned I was gonna get to that at the end to see if that was. Yes,
Oh,
it
okay,
is.
my
Yes, it
fault.
is. Yes, it is. We'll
I
talk about
figured
that
it
at the
had to.
end.
It had to be.
We'll talk about that at the end. Um, but uh, last but not least, a
Mhm.
guy we are a big fan of around.
Okay.
We used to watch his videos. He
Oh
finally got his
crap! No way.
chance. He finally got his chance to prove what he was on the big stage in the first ever annual chugging contest at the Nathan's Hot Dog eating
Oh yeah,
contest.
he
Borderland
was there
chugs.
last year.
No, Badlands chugs. I mean, no,
Badlands Sharks.
this is the first year they've ever done it. That it's
I know, but he did the hot dog last year.
yeah, but he did the chugging contest this year.
Man chugs way better than he eat.
It was
So
a gallon. It was a gallon of lemonade, I believe.
I didn't know about that. I haven't seen that.
And he there was no contest to the person next to him. Like
Oh yeah.
he started off slow, and then he stopped, he burped, and then kept going,
Oh, he's
stopped,
always got a burp. It
burp,
clears the space.
and then kept going, and he was the person near or next to him was nowhere near him. Like he had time to stop for like 10 seconds and burp and then go back. Like, but
Yeah, because his burps aren't little. They're gonna take some time.
but yeah, Badlands got the inaugural chug contest win there. So
Badlands is gonna break Joey Chestnut's record
you
with
think?
that.
I mean, he
Badlands is gonna keep on going. He's gonna his chugging the world one day at a time thing that he does in his videos. It's gonna happen. He's gonna
but
chug the world.
I mean, okay, that's an interesting question that comes up though. Like we look at it like NBA, we look back and we look at records that we thought can never be broken, that are going to be. Is Joey Chestnut gonna be that guy that it's like it's something that like no one can ever compete? Or is it gonna be like you look at athletes now compared to athletes back then? Are people just gonna get better at competitive eating and just get better than Joey?
I don't know how big the competitive eating space is,
It's big. It's big.
but what I do know is that some people probably just won't even. I mean, like obviously you'll have big Joey Chestnut fans that got into eating because of him, but like, I don't think anybody will have it in them to even go that long because the man's been doing it forever.
Well,
To
no,
even and
it's
but
not
then like
necessarily.
even
It's not necessarily they have to beat his fifth or his 14 championships, but just beat his single hot dog record. His
I think
76.
somebody could. I mean, obviously, like you said, that he keeps continuously beating himself. So
Yeah,
I think somebody could. It's just how high does he actually want to take it to
yeah.
see if anybody can ever reach it, or if he
It's
just wants to leave the low hanging fruit.
it's just an interesting thing to look at because like in the NBA, obviously guys are 10 times more athletic than they were back in the day. It's just how
Yeah, but
everything goes. So it's
you
like
could say it. You could say it as like still Wilt's 100 points, like
yeah.
76 or however many he ends up ending it at. Hot dogs is still a lot. So you could look at it as like, yeah, somebody could touch it, but then again, it was we're seeing like Kobe being the 81 being the closest. Like that's still a lot, but still 19 points off. So
Yeah. So it's one of those things that's going to be like, how far is he going to push himself, how high, and then when is he going to, leave it? When is he just going to drop it off? So, but
yeah, and I would think that the man, he's been, like I said, doing it so long. He's got his championships and stuff. Maybe he goes to 15 or something. Maybe he tries to go for 20. Who knows? But I would think that sometime it's got to take a toll on your body. You just got to be tired of eating hot dogs like that.
100%. It's going to take a toll on his body, and yeah, it's just going to be
Because
insane.
he has past few years looks like he continues to lose his weight too.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that has any effect on him downing the dogs, but
I don't know.
He keeps himself in top athletic ability or top athletic shape to down some dogs.
Who knows? Who knows? But last but not least, like you mentioned like a couple minutes ago, our Mount Rushmores that we did during our low snake draft during the Holbein podcast last week finally got posted. And we never talked about it on here because we didn't do another video last week. But I had fun on there. I think we already talked about how we're gonna have them come on ours near the end of this. I think the week before the last week of the season, regular season at week, just to talk about that.
Have a sit down on the field with them,
mate.
We're throwing out ideas right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe just I'll hop in your pool and.
Yeah, that'll work too. Just float around. I think I've done like 19 laps in circles. So
every time I look over at you, it seems you're just floating. But I'm choice A, and with my first overall pick, I picked the grasshopper, and then I went Chipotle, Spotted Cow, and JR's. And I'm choice A if you want. I mean, sorry, gonna probably be passed this time. No, it goes up for 24 hours, so. Go vote for me. Mort was choice B, and he, with his first pick, picked Cancun, and then I believe he went rice and barley. I think
I went Mancino's,
and then rice and barley, and then with your last pick, he went Applebee's, and I don't think. Oh, yep, Grants are posted. I was waiting there for a second, and then with Grants, I think he went Alpha. I think he went Fiesta, Hoagie Man, and then he ended off with China Garden. So,
something like that.
Those were good picks. They were just local restaurants, obviously, but there were some good ones there, and I had fun doing that. I feel like we should do something like that more. I mean, obviously, when it's just hard, but
we could just keep stealing ideas. I mentioned stealing some, so now you're on board with stealing some, so we're good to go there.
But other than that, we have some games this weekend against I think Hillbilly Hitters, and then Fellowship of the Swing, the first divisional games that we have or conference games that we have. So they're gonna be tough ones. I in my eyes, I think we really got it. We're playing for the division this week. Who's gonna be number one? Because us and Fellowship are both 3-1, and we actually get the nightcap against them. So it's really gonna. That first game, both of our two games are really going to matter.
It's really going to set up the hype for people to be there.
Yeah, I was going to say that last game really is going to, or our first game and their first game is really going to matter how that second game goes, because, we could give them their first loss or their second loss of the day. They could give us our first loss or second loss of the day, who knows. But I think we're ready, we're all prepared. Got some work in at their not their scrimmage, but their open field day, open games that they had there. A couple of us went there, so I think it should be a good weekend. I mean, all around.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not a long day of just getting bent over. So
I think you're having too many Coronas more. I think but what was I gonna say there? Yeah, I mean, I think that's all I got. Is there anything you gotta say?
Nope, I'm just
wet right bobbing now. Up and down there. I see.
Yeah, you can see. Okay.
I think our Friday video is going to be our MLB mock draft. I think Nick's gonna join us again for that. Give us some insight on what he has to say about the draft, because the draft is Friday night, Saturday night. I
It's
think
not on the weekend. I know that.
MLB.
I thought it was on a Tuesday or something. We said.
MLB Draft 2021. It is on my birthday, actually. It starts
Oh.
July 11th, and it goes to the 13th. So
Okay, then. Well,
do we know how
that'd
many
be very eventful.
rounds? Do we know how many rounds are in it this year? Is it back to normal rounds?
I don't know. I thought that they wanted to keep it 5, but I'm not sure. Well, if it's multiple, if it's what you said, the 3 days,
Yes, the 3 days.
then maybe it is back to normal.
Are in the MLB Draft 2021. 20 rounds this year.
Oh, okay.
Wait, that was last. Wait, no, that's this year.
No, it was 5 last year.
Yeah, so the 2020 draft was shortened to 5 rounds due to the COVID pandemic, but the 2021 will last 20 rounds. Still 20 fewer than 40 rounds in normal years. So I do like that, though, because it kind of gives guys that don't get drafted, it kind of gives them an opportunity like where they really get to pick where they want to go. And if it gives the guys that get picked in the first 20 rounds an opportunity to do some recruitment for the team they got drafted to. Like if they have a guy that that they like playing with in college or playing against in college, they can be like, hey, come here, come play with me.
Yeah, like the Tigers did last year with Arizona State stealing 3 guys from them.
Yeah.
So Tokerson,
Workman,
Gage Workman, and I think he was either the one that was going to go there. Yeah, he was one out of high school that was going to go there, and then there was the other one too. That's it.
No, Workman played at Arizona State.
Okay, then there was the high schooler that was going to go there.
Yeah.
That they took from that. I don't know why I forgot his name, but I did.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do our first round prediction there on Friday, and probably talk about the futures game because I think that happens on Saturday. And
oh yeah, probably does.
There's some Tigers on that roster, and there's a player that no one's ever seen or heard from, and this is going to be his first time in the United States of America. So it's all around going to be a show for him. And I forgot that's Saturday. So Saturday's just an amazing day. Saturday's, oh my goodness. We got the fight.
Wait, so what could be playing then during that?
I think so.
Oh my gosh. I just thought about that.
Hold on, let me double check. Let me double check for you. MLB futures game.
No, the futures game's got to be after that. It's got to be sometime after. Can't be the same day. Because the draft will be starting at like 7.
Wait. We're good. Futures game is on Sunday before the NFL or before the draft.
Oh, so it's on Sunday.
Yeah, it's on Sunday, so we're good. We're good.
I didn't think that the draft would be on a Saturday.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that stuff or the draft and the futures game on Friday. So that's all I got. You got anything else more? I know you said you didn't earlier. Didn't? No. You got any other thoughts? But
I'm all out now.
I thank you guys for watching, and you guys could like and subscribe. That helps out a lot, and we'll see you guys next time.